seconds under that 12-minute cap, but Amanda Goodman, what a job she did closing the gap and getting ahead of the Canadian Broads and Meredith Root.
And it really was all about that rope climb. Amanda was so fast on those rope climbs. Big reaches, made up a ton of room. Man, what a way to put it down. Woo!
Shout out to Cass, Jen, and Christy. I believe they were the first team.
Cass, Jen, and Christy, that's one of the races we're hoping for with these stacked teams in this second heat of elite athletes. As you can see, Cassie, Jen, and Christy in the forward part of your screen. Now, this is after earlier standings today that Cassie, Jen, and Christy came in with that lead with the Canadian Broads just behind them. This is the results of event number 2, not your overall point standings. So as we change over from the elite women's 3-person teams, it'll be the elite men's turn to tackle event number 3 here at Bayside.
My name is Robin Evans Galley, and I go to CrossFit West Chase. When I was diagnosed at age 38, I was actually at the strongest point of my life. Doing CrossFit changed for me in that it was no longer about competing with others, but it became doing as much as I could for as long as I could to keep myself strong for the battle. As a breast cancer patient, it helped me keep a positive mindset. As a physical therapist, I know how much exercise is important to not only your physical growth, but your emotional state. Continuing to do CrossFit through chemo, surgeries, and radiation helped keep me out of that depressed cycle that so many patients fall into.
We all possess an innate, savage-like instinct. Whether you want to accept that or not. Being relentless, not making excuses. Getting after it. There's the easy way and the born primitive way. Failing is okay. Everyone's gonna get knocked on their ass. It's how you respond to the pain that defines you. Entitlement, self-pity, we completely reject that. Naturally, we want to go to the easy way. When the body suffers, the spirit flourishes. Learning to thrive in those moments of discomfort, because that's when the battle is won. And that's what we're all about, is that mindset.
Here come the men, making their way onto the competition floor for their crack at special delivery. And oh, it is
Packed
special
house,
with those ladies
standing
so
room only at the Bayside competition floor here at the 2019 Wodapalooza CrossFit Festival. I'm Chase Ingram. Alongside with me is Bill Grundler. And we saw the elite women's three-person teams just complete event number 3. It will now be the men's turn for these thrusters, heavy sandbag carries, and we'll say the all-deciding legless rope climbs.
Well, and I think for the women, it was about the rope climbs. I don't think for the men it will be as dramatic. It usually isn't as big of a weak point for the men's side of the field when it comes to these rope climbs. But with that being the case, now you really get to push the tempo. So are they going to be able to handle the tempo of the rope climbs and that, 200-pound sandbag is no joke.
It is no joke.
So you got to get it up. You still got to use those forearms, and then you got to blast through those thrusters at 115 pounds. I mean, that's no joke either. It's going to be pedal to the metal.
Teams in this first heat of 2.
10 seconds.
Lanes 4 through 13. We have some top 10
3,
teams. Second Alarm
2,
CrossFit over in
1,
lane number
go.
9. Actually had a great finish in
All right,
event
ladies
number
and
2.
gentlemen, we are underway now.
The first athletes will start with
We got no
21
equal training in lane
thrusters
4, CrossFit Hive lane 5,
at
Team
115 pounds. So,
Lane 6, 2010
you know, we're
labs.
talking so much about the heavy
Lane
sandbag and the
7,
legless rope climbs, but a 115-pound
FSU.
thruster, it's
That
nothing
is
to
in
bat
lane
your
8.
eye at either.
Second
No,
Alarm
and that's
CrossFit
just to
lane
start
9,
it off. So
Tech
these guys came
Superstars,
out hot
lane
and
10.
heavy. I mean, the
Wolfpack, lane
first
11,
8
Team
reps,
Wick,
first 7 or 8
lane
reps,
12.
these guys were flying. And I think, again, it was that jitter, that getting started, let themselves kind of settle in, and you still need to be able to breathe during this. Because what's going to happen, you're going to put that down, you got to carry that heavy sandbag, and that thing's pressed right up against your diaphragm, which makes it so you can't breathe.
200-pound
Brothers came out of the
sandbag.
gate fast.
15 feet down, back, and down for 45 total. Athletes in this first leg will do 3 legless rope climbs.
And we already have fellas climbing those ropes. Your top 3 are on the
It looks
rope
like
lines
2010
right now.
labs
But
after
here comes
CrossFit
a wave
Captivate.
of fitness behind them.
Currently leading.
And all the other players making their way to the climb.
So that's CrossFit
One more
height.
to go for our leaders in the yellow tops, black shorts.
They are climbing the rope as we are going to see our
3
first
legless rope
set of
climbs. You'll still
athletes
see
back
that
to
little
the
bit of a break from a lot of these
barbell.
athletes. Lanes 4, 5, and 6 side by side. Team Powerade in the yellow tank top.
We sit here on
Done
the
with his
lovely
3
Bayside
and back to
stage,
that bag.
facing the water.
Kind of one of those where like I wish I knew the legless rope climbs as fast as I did.
Well, now one thing you got to look at is the fact of what was his forearm doing. On that last one, he was getting hammered.
Oh,
he had
no.
big reaches, and his forearms are just blown out. Now he can't even get it back. His forearms are so blown.
Well, here's the problem is that he got a no rep on the first leg, and he has to walk it back
I'll be honest, Steve, this is what I look
to
for.
go back for another 15 feet.
One trip.
So he's going to have to
I can
do
do it in one trip.
5 trips.
Now these thrusters
What?
are going to be the indicators.
So you got a no rep
Yeah.
on the first leg. You got to carry it back to start over, and then do 3 more.
And he did what he should have done, was push very hard on the ropes for his level to blast through that set of 3. But now that he's having to do all this extra amount on that bag, he has no forearms left. His grip is gone.
He has to do 1 more carry. As we move on, athletes will finish with 21 thrusters at 115.
FSU.
This is lane number 8, FSU holding on to this early lead.
Officially in the wings.
That's right. All those athletes can do is watch.
All teams now on their last set of thrusters. It's a pyramid-style relay. Thruster, sandbag carry, legless rope climb, sandbag carry to thruster. First athletes will do 21 thrusters, 3 legless. Athlete number 2 will do 18 thrusters, 4 legless rope climbs. And the third and final athlete will do 15 thrusters and 5 legless rope climbs. Team Powerade in the yellow tank top, they were your early leaders, but that disaster on the sandbag carry. You know, there was a lot of talk about You know, the sandbag carry is just kind of an annoying part about this event, unless you get a no rep.
Well, it's too bad he didn't get the no rep and drop it right then. He finished it. I think he thought the no rep was the fact of the way he was holding it, and then he could have just adjusted. Not the case.
Team FSU in lane number 8, wearing the Savage t-shirts.
A couple more teams get that first athlete onto that.
Second athlete onto the carry. As you can see, Team Powerade trying to make up some ground. Now this is a 12-minute capped event. The time in the upper left part of your screen. Athletes need to average at least 4 minutes per to get underneath that time cap. We only had a few teams on the women's side finish this event. Now, Bill, you said that's more due to just the difficulty of the legless climb. You're just talking about upper body pulling strength in general and some height. So these men have a slight advantage in this movement in particular.
Well, they do. I think, in generally speaking, but those women that finished, they did pretty well. It's not like they were waiting around for a very long time. So, you know, the fact that the guys have the advantage, that's true, yes. But they're still going to make their way through, and the bag is heavy. So we already talked about the assault on the forms, and we saw how it can completely obliterate one of your athletes, and if that happens, you're basically knocking yourself right out of the running.
Josh and G, our leaders, getting their second athlete through the climb.
Lane number 8, FSU, done with their 4 legless rope climbs.
Approaching that halfway marker, Kiki.
45-foot, 200-pound sandbag carry.
But it is FSU.
One more 15-foot section, trying to keep pace over in lane number 5.
Over that yellow line.
Is CrossFit Hype,
eyeing those heavy thrusters.
but it is all FSU. 18 thrusters at 115 pounds for their second athlete to finish.
Up and overhead.
Josh, he is 6 reps in. 6 reps.
You can see the communication going on right here with FSU, telling his athlete just to hold on to that bar. Don't you dare put that thing down. Hurry up and finish it. Ah, great finish by that athlete. Great finish by this team.
18 unbroken reps for FSU, and their third and final athlete will take the floor. 15 thrusters at 115 pounds. Teams to his left and to his right are still their second athlete working into their final set of 18.
Your leaders.
And lane number 5, CrossFit Hype. Behind the rest of these teams.
Second and third place team. Come on, Miami.
And with one more rep to go in the center part of the lane,
approaching that 12-minute cap.
FSU making their way to the first set. He has 5 legless rope climbs.
Number 9. Lane number 9 who has their third athlete on the thrusters.
That's right, second alarm CrossFit. Putting on a hell of a show here.
45 feet down. 5 legless rope climbs to go.
In the house. Everybody wants to check out Wodapalooza.
Time in the upper left part of your screen is 7:30.
Yeah.
Time cap, 12 minutes. And after that one rope climb, you can see why this guy's going last.
Well, we talked about that. I think that's, generally speaking, the best idea to put your best rope climber last. And man, he's moving through this.
Athletes here kind of coming up on 8
Lane number 12, Team Witt, who's sitting in the top 10. Only team that's close to challenging FSU. The only problem is he got halfway up and fell down the rope.
It's that wild, crazy leg kick that he's doing.
Team FSU on his third legless rope climb. Still looking like it's his first legless rope climb. One thing you like to see is that proficiency, not just on the way up, but the way down. That quick drop, little catch underneath that marker that you have to get below.
Well, you know, one of the things, I mean, if you knew you had to do more than 5 rope climbs, I'd say don't do that because it's a lot of shock on the arm. And so it kind of like, it does crush you a little bit, but he knows that all he has to do is get through that 5, and then he can move on. And man, he moved quick. I mean, look at the time. This was the spot that it was supposed to hold everybody up. Look how fast they're moving.
Took it less than a minute and 15 seconds to get through 5 legless rope climbs. And with a 15-foot carry left to go, now he has 15 reps at the 9-minute mark. This is heat 1 of elite men's teams of 3. We do have a second heat remaining. Teams are seeded based off their qualifying standings earlier coming into this weekend.
It is a true definition of Friday Night Lights here in downtown Miami. As FSU with just one more thruster to go.
And just like that, FSU has the time to beat at 9:36 unofficially.
9 minutes and 37
That
seconds.
was
Putting the other teams on
very
notice.
impressive. Those guys handled it. It was set up exactly perfect for those guys.
Now a 2-team race in the center lanes between 7 and 9. 2010 labs in lane number 7, trying to hold off Second Alarm CrossFit in lane number 9.
10 minutes, 2-minute warning. As we have a handful of teams now racing to finish this well under that cap.
Also in the far lane, Jaladua at a Synergy Performance. Too late, as it is 2010 labs will take second in this heat.
Into that end zone.
Second Alarm CrossFit in lane number 9.
90 seconds.
Oh boy.
About 90 seconds before we reach that 12-minute cap. We still have a few teams left on the floor, some working their last set of thrusters you can see on the right side of your screen. Some still on the legless rope climbs for their final athlete.
Their event here at Bayside. One-minute athletes, 1 minute.
.45 seconds remaining.
We've got 45 seconds remaining.
They have 2
Will
athletes
we see another
trying to
team
race
get
their
across
last
and then
15
try to
thrusters. Not to
Look at
just
those
beat the
thrusters.
team, but to get
They
underneath
have
that 12-minute
30
cap.
seconds remaining. 30 seconds.
Weight on the bar is 115. FSU finished early in a time of
Another team
9:35
finishing up,
unofficially.
lane number 5 with 15 seconds remaining.
As we have just 10 seconds
10
left to go.
seconds.
Oh, is he gonna make it? Is he gonna make it?
Got underneath the cap.
And time.
I don't know if he got to the finishing mat in time
Ladies
enough.
and gentlemen, a big round of applause to our athletes here. We're going to bring out a next set here in just a moment.
Team FSU, unofficial time, 9:36 will be the score to beat as Heat 1 is done. Heat 2 of the elite men's 3-person team coming up.
Here at Born Primitive, we're against the grain a little bit, and we're proud to be that way. Anyone can become a clothing company. We're not just making apparel. You know, you have the side of it where we're embracing fitness, and then the other side of it, honoring those who serve, supporting those communities, and trying to give back when we can. We're active duty owned and operated, and I think that is a guiding principle for how we do business. Our brand promise is quality products, positive customer experience, and a brand that encompasses something so much more. By being a part of our community, you're choosing to embrace a mentality of working your ass off, being relentless, and never making excuses. It's the mindset of when you put this shirt on and you go to the gym, what are you embracing? Are you gonna take the easy way out? Or are you gonna take the hard road and get after it? Born Primitive, athlete-driven, Patriot-inspired.
One more heat remaining of the elite three-person men's teams. The previous heat led out by FSU in an unofficial time of 9:36, as this will be the second and final heat for the elite men's teams as they tackle event number 3 here at the Bayside competition floor. And Bill, just looking at this from the side, is Food Spring Athletics looked so good in the previous event for event number 2. And when you're talking about, leading out with Adrian Munweiler, Bjorkgren, Carl Goodmanson, and Jonakoski, that's a tough group of 3. And when you look at an event like event number 3, I don't really see any holes in any one of those guys. And it's more of just, all right, which one do you want to do? I'll go first, I guess.
Do you want to do thrusters or do you want to do rope climbs? The answer would be yes, because they're all good at all of those. I think that they are definitely going to be the team to beat. I think some of the other teams that are out there will be chasing and can be very close. But I just, for the most part, I don't see anyone really pushing them. I don't know, unless someone's here to prove me wrong. I don't know. I don't think you're going to have something to that effect. Now, we do have some other athletes out there that have games experience and have some regional experience. You have Ocean State's CrossFit. Their team is out here on the floor. They have some good people for sure. But I don't know. I just think that their team is too complete.
All 3 athletes will be competing in a relay format style for event number 3. We have thrusters, sandbag carries at 200 pounds, legless rope climbs. They'll work their way back to the carry and thrusters. Unique situation is that the thrusters will start at 21, legless rope climbs at 3. Second athlete will go 18 and 4. Third athletes will do 15 and 5. So you can still put some athletes to be in the most successful positions. Obviously, you want your best legless rope climber to go last, unless you have someone who can't do them.
Well, okay, we're in the top heat of this. I don't think we should see anything like that. We saw what the guys could do in that last heat, and it wasn't the matter of where do you put them. It's just a matter of who's going to be the most proficient. So you know that it isn't going to be someone that's going to be failing and failing and failing. It's just a matter of who's going to be the fastest and who has the capacity, like we saw on that last team. If you have the capacity to blast through that set of 5, that's going to be huge.
Second final heat underway for the elite men. We've had some teams with a little confusion about where they need to run off to before the athletes can start. 21 thrusters at 115 pounds to start out athlete number 1 for these 3 elite male teams.
The Flying V, lane number 5, Fuel for Life. Lane number 6, Blacklisted HQ. Lane number 7.
Your leaders coming in. Food Spring Athletics in lane number 3. Adrian Munweiler done with his first set of 21 in 37 seconds.
Lane 9,
He does have some company.
Lane 10, Sophia's the Queen. Lane 11, USN.
And you can see Adrian's looking around. Now I wouldn't say that's a very comfortable way to hold that bag, but it didn't seem to faze him all that much. He still was able and had enough whereabouts to look around to see where the other athletes were. And look at that, right into that next rope climb. So you can tell the strength that Adrian has, and this is what those more experienced athletes are going to have, is they have that experience to stay on the movements that they're doing and be able to move quickly from one to the next to the next. I mean, look at Adrian go.
2 rope climbs done for Adrian Munweiler and Food Spring Athletics.
On the Bayside stage as our athletes make their way up. Looking for it.
Little
Two
big,
teams.
big pulls by Adrian.
2 teams trying to keep pace with him. They'll be in lanes number 10 and 11. And that's Sophia's the Queen and USN team out of Encinitas CrossFit.
Now for Adrian, you can see his fingers aren't touching. Where the athlete there, the USN team, does have his hands locked, so that's a much better hold. You can see Adrian's really straining to keep that tight after doing all those rope climbs. That's tough on the forearm.
So Munweiler in the fore part of your screen works into his second set of 21 thrusters. In the back part of your screen, we have about 3 teams trying to keep pace with Food Spring Athletics. And that's in lane number 8. You have Ocean State's Fittest, Sophia's the Queen, and USN's team. All the way over in lane number 13, you also have CrossFit Milford in the mix. So not a lot of separation. Munweiler actually just took a break.
Downtown Miami.
So Munweiler, who took a break during that final set of 21, is slowing down just a bit, and that's opening up the door for some of these teams here at the end.
Oh,
that's
man.
the second break we've seen him take.
A hand in the air for lane number 3.
And it'll actually be
Athletics
Sophia's the Queen in lane 10 as Griffin Roll
with 3
gets his team ahead. I have no idea who this guy is. I don't even know why he's on the screen. Jonakowski leading out the second leg for his team. Food Spring Athletics is now behind. Munweiler having to break twice in his final set of 21.
Drawn to the Miami stage under the bright lights of Waza. Lane number 5 getting their athlete onto that finishing mat.
Lane number 3 headed back.
No.
Their second athlete.
Over in lane number
heading back
14,
to the rope.
CrossFit Milford.
That big heavy sandbag crossing that yellow line.
Moving into his set of 4, so a 3-team race.
Like awkwardly holding
Food
that
Spring Athletics, CrossFit Milford,
4 minutes
and
in
Sophia's
at
the
the
Queen. You see over there in lane number 13, that's CrossFit Milford's team.
And Milford, very fast transition going from one rope climb to the next rope climb. Look at that, speed roping down. So this is the thing, we've gone through half the rope climbs. How fast can he keep going? Because we see, when I'm looking across, I see Jonas starting to struggle a little bit as he's chasing. And then Hutchinson over for Sophia's the Queen in lane number 10, same thing. Starting to struggle just a little bit. Man, that's a fast transition.
All the spectators.
4 legless rope climbs for these second athletes. They had 18 thrusters to do at 115 pounds. Jonakowski
Food Spring Athletics.
done with 3 repetitions.
Trying to still hold on to that lead.
But it will be lane number 13, CrossFit Milford. Milford, a games team, made a name for themselves. They almost won the CrossFit Games to spoil Rich's team debut back in 2015.
And Milford, those guys have all kinds of good athletes coming out of there that they're working with. So
Milford's second athlete working into his second set of 18 thrusters. Jonakowski for Food Spring Athletics. Done with his second carry. He'll work his way to the bar. So your first place team, CrossFit Milford.
And look at that. Milford just looks like they're putting the hammer down. Even Yona looks a little bit, I don't want to say tired, but he's just not moving with the same speed, the same oomph as Milford is.
Milford is done with 18.
Wow.
Third and final athlete onto the bar, 15 thrusters at 115 pounds. 45-foot sandbag carry. Jonakowski trying to keep pace, keep it close at least. But Milford, depending on how the legless rope climbs go, and if Bjorgman Carl Goodmanson can close the gap, it's about a 20-second difference between Milford and Food Spring Athletics.
Man, look
And Milford, I mean,
Wow.
you sure that's the 200-pound sandbag?
Quite a show.
It must have a leak in it.
Somebody brought their pocket knife to the event and sliced out the bottom.
Look at that, right back into that. And you talked about, who to put at the different places, who to put at your last set of rope climbs. And man, that was a fast transition on that setup for that rope climb, right from the back, right onto that rope.
Now, Björgvin Carl Gudmundsson is finishing up his first carry, but that is the second legless rope climb completed for CrossFit Milford. Oh, and he just saw on the opposite side of the floor that Björgvin Carl Gudmundsson got a no rep on his last leg, so he had to do 2 more down and backs.
So we talked about holds and who's going to beat him. You can't have any holds, and that's what Milford's doing. They look amazing. Look at that.
4 rope climbs completed. Björgvin Carl Gudmundsson just did his first rep. And we're only at the 7:30 mark. The time to beat was 9:34. That's 2 minutes away. Gudmundsson 2 climbs done, but on the far side, Milford on the right side of your screen. This will be his last leg. I tell you what, it looks like he kind of maxed out his potential on those 5 climbs.
But that's what you want. You want to finish it at the end like that, not at rep number 3 when you know you have that many to do.
And Bill, you said it's grippy when it gets to that bag. And I tell you what, they had 5 rope climbs to do. That's all he had at that speed. And now, you were talking about it earlier, it's like just being able to get a good grip on that thing is the second challenge to the weight.
Well, it was getting up. Now, the nice thing is he's got his fingers together. It's not super far to have to walk. Now, that spinning around is kind of an annoyance, but it's really not all that far. If you can get a decent lock on there, I don't think anyone's going to be dropping it. But, man, right back into the thrusters. Holy cow.
Björgvin Carl Gudmundsson, I don't know if he's going to have enough time. It depends on, those last 15 reps can get hard depending on how hard you went in the middle part.
Yeah, but he's already like 10 reps behind. There's no way he's going to catch him.
Final time for his team.
8:50 on the clock. Time to beat, 9 minutes and 34 seconds. And
Wow.
a new time. And it doesn't matter how you finish, just as long as that you finish. CrossFit Milford will win event number 3.
All eyes are on lane number 3.
Björgvin Carl Gudmundsson for Food Spring Athletics.
For his team with less than
Few reps left to go. That should be good enough for second overall if he gets under the 9:30 mark. And now on the right side of your screen, you can see 2 more teams trying to finish out their last 15 in lanes 8 and lanes 10. Ocean State trying to run down. Sophia's the queen.
Lane number 8. Ocean State's finish.
And it looks like Ocean State's just got slightly ahead.
There is the
That'd be good for third in this heat.
10 minutes,
Yet
2 minutes.
FSU's time of 9:34 should be good enough for third overall in the event. Just over 90 seconds remaining.
If you want to finish this event, you're going to have to put the pedal to the metal.
12-minute cap for this event.
Individual athletes.
Tell you what, CrossFit Milford,
this heat.
what a performance they just put on.
Yeah, it was literally picture perfect. They ran each one of those athletes exactly to what their limit was. So the end point when they basically imploded was at the end, and that's, I mean, if you design it right, that's exactly what it's supposed to look like. You don't implode during, you implode right at the very end.
There's about 45 seconds remaining.
Lane number 5, Fuel for Life.
Lanes 5 and lane 6, Fuel for Life and Blacklisted HQ will finish event number 3.
Athletes, you have 30 seconds.
30 seconds remaining. Still got a few teams over by the ropes just not being able to get up the rope.
20 seconds and counting. A handful of teams still trying to get through this event. Special delivery, 15 seconds to go. Make that 10 seconds. Counting down. 3, 2, 1, time.
And that'll be the 12-minute cap for elite men, teams of 3.
Put on quite a show.
And CrossFit Milford will give themselves a very important 100 points to their team total.
All judges in the judging area.
So the elite 3-person teams for the women and the men are done. And next up to the competition floor here at Bayside for the 2019 Wodapalooza will be the individual elite athletes, as we have our second sanctioned event to determine which guy, female, and team will go to the games.